Some of the loudest thoughts in your mind are not yours. They sound like you. They live in your voice. They even wear your history like a name tag. But if you listen closely, you can hear the echo. And the question becomes simple and terrifying and freeing all at once. The question, who taught you that? Here's our official alignment anchor. Yellow light. Pause. Breathe. Right where I am, God is. And so I ask, what's the most aligned next step? Not the most impressive one. And I move one faithful step at a time. And here is today's consequence. You see, when we live by borrowed beliefs, we build a life that never quite fits. You can be successful and still feel off. You can be praised and still feel invisible. You can do everything right and still feel like you are betraying something sacred within you. And that's because borrowed beliefs often sound like wisdom, but they act like cages. They keep you safe from judgment, but they also keep you far from yourself. In this conversation, there are two familiar characters. Character A, the borrower. The borrower doesn't mean harm. The borrower is trying to belong. They inherited rules and expectations and shoulds without ever questioning the premise. The borrower looks something like, that's just how life is. People like us don't do that. I should be over this by now. If I rest, I'm lazy. If I say no, I'm selfish. You see, the borrower is loyal, but sometimes loyal to the wrong story. And character B is the rememberer. The rememberer is not rebellious. The rememberer is honest. They still respect people, traditions, and upbringing, but they refuse to hand over their soul. So what does the rememberer look like? The rememberer may look like, that may be what I learned, but is it true? Is this belief producing peace or pressure? Does this align with love, or does it just manage optics? And what does God know about me that fear cannot teach? And listen, beloved, borrowing is human, but living there forever is expensive. Our borrowed beliefs often hide in very normal sentences. Sentences like saying that I'm just being realistic when you're actually rehearsing defeat. Calling self-abandonment being mature. Staying small because you learned that visibility is dangerous. Staying busy because you learned that stillness is irresponsible. How about over-apologizing because you learned that you take up too much space? Or performing spiritual language while ignoring what your heart is truly saying? Holding tight to the should because want feels too vulnerable. The yellow light check. Is this belief guiding you or guarding you? And here is the truth that steadies everything. Your life will always organize around your premises, your beliefs. You see, what you believe becomes what you choose. What you choose becomes what you repeat, and what you repeat becomes what you call my life. So if the premise is borrowed, the life will feel borrowed too. And this is where the traffic light becomes holy. Green is not always go. Green can be approval. Red is not always rejection. Red can be protection. Yellow is where the mercy resides. Yellow is the moment you stop letting go of old programming driving the car. Yellow is where you remember, I am allowed to examine what I learned. I am allowed to outgrow what once protected me. I am allowed to choose truth over familiarity. And you see, I've had to ask this question more times than I can count. That question, who taught me that? Because some beliefs were handed to me with love, but not accuracy. Some beliefs were built for survival, not for flourishing. Some beliefs were designed to keep me manageable, not free. And the moment that I started questioning the premise, I didn't become less spiritual. I became more sincere. Because truth does not require fear to enforce it. Truth stands on its own. Borrowed beliefs are kind of like wearing someone else's prescription glasses. You can see something, you can function, you can even get used to the blur. But eventually you get headaches, you bump into things, and you misread signs that were meant to guide you. And then one day you realize the world is not wrong, your lens is. Yellow light is where you take the glasses off and ask, what is actually here? And here is how we work with this today. Practical, gentle, and real. First, we pause. When you feel pressure, guilt, or that familiar I should, stop for one breath. Just one, because our aim is to interrupt the reflex. Our second step is to assess, to ask 3 questions. Who taught me this? What has this belief produced in my life, peace or pressure? And if I believed love was leading, what would change right now? For those of you that want the alignment chain, use this. Premise, what am I believing? Vision, what do I really want? Purpose, why does it matter? And strategy, what is the next faithful step? Because borrowed beliefs almost always hide in the premise, in the belief. And if the premise is false, the whole plan becomes a detour. Our third step is to decide. Make one aligned decision, not 10, just one. Choose one of these one-step moves for yourself today. Maybe it is to replace a borrowed belief with a true sentence, something like, that's what I learned, but I'm choosing what's true. Another activity could be to practice a new premise. I am safe enough to be honest. Or take one faithful action that proves your new belief. Maybe it's a new boundary or a request. Maybe it's an honest conversation, a small yes, or a sacred no. And remember, it's not the most dramatic step. It's not the most impressive step. It's the next faithful one. So here's your charge for today. Stop letting borrowed beliefs write your future. Honor what they taught you, absolutely, but do not worship what limited you. Yellow light, beloved, is to pause, assess, and decide. And today, when the should rises, ask the question that sets you free. Who taught me that? Maybe it would be helpful to journal this sentence for 1 minute. What belief am I living by that I never consciously chose? If something in today's conversation stirred you, don't rush past it. That stirring is often the soul's way of saying, pay attention. This is your yellow light. And you do not have to navigate this alone. If you are craving clarity, if you're ready to live with purpose and you want aligned action that holds up in real life, I'd love to support you. You can reach out to learn more about Life Charter or what it looks like to work with me, Babs. Just send me a message with the word yellow and tell me where you feel stuck, numb, or unsure. I'll respond with the next best step and the simplest way we can walk it together. Until tomorrow, friends, yellow light, pause, breathe. Right where I am, God is. What's the most aligned next step? Not the most impressive one. And then I move, one faithful step at a time. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. I love you deeply, for in truth we are old friends, because we are one.